wrote it the wrong
Just
way.
in case you recall, at least that's the way I remember.
And Timmy will be able to put the phone
Yeah,
bill in
still-
and get to that.
Yeah.
Number again, so.
We were definitely not capable of covering all that stuff. No.
Okay.
6 o'clock, call the meeting to order. Ask clerk to take roll.
Dvorak?
Here.
Vogel? Here. Walters?
Here.
Anderson?
Here.
Sargent?
First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. I have no additions or corrections. I would take a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Vogel? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sargent? Dvorak?
Motion carries. Next item is public comments. This is the time and place for comments for any item other than those in a public hearing. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Anyone wish to address council? Hearing none, seeing none. Moving on to item 5, consent agenda. Take a motion, please.
So moved. Second, I do have one question on D. So this is a new business moving into the olds. Have we heard anything from businesses expressing any concern?
Take a motion, please.
You have it. You want me
So
to
moved.
roll?
Oh, wait,
Huh?
you already did.
You have a motion and
Oh,
second.
okay. Sorry. Roll call.
Sargent? Dvorak?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is new business. Under new business, item A, resolution 2019-93, approving plat of survey for parcel 2019-207 and 2019-208. Who's got this? Kathy?
I can
Sure.
address it. Yeah, this is a pretty simple little plat, and it's out in the 2-mile area outside of Polk City. Really, there's 2 adjoining lots that were platted. The garage or some kind of outbuilding encroaches on the other lot, so they're doing a land swap. So you'll see like a little sliver of land that they're just kind of swapping. They're going to do lot tie agreements that tie the swap parcels to the main part of the lot. So does not create any new buildable lots or anything that way.
Questions, comments, concerns? Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Vogel? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sargent?
Yes.
Dvorak?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, resolution 2019-100, approving North Polk West Elementary agreement to complete. Whoever wants it. We've all kind of been involved, right?
Some time ago, there was a site plan for the school, and they had a few outstanding punch list items, and now they're interested in getting a building permit for some safety fence around some intakes, and so it was discovered that we did another walkthrough, and they had not completed all their landscaping, so this is an agreement to complete. They will install the landscaping there as per the approved site.
So the reason we're approving this first is because they've actually got a board meeting on Thursday, so we're going to get this to them. They're going to sign it.
Yeah.
Level this stuff.
And this would allow them to put the fence in so that we don't have any safety issues with, there was a concern with
4 little
safety
chunks
issues
of
with
fence
kids.
around a couple intakes.
Yeah.
Just need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Vogel? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sargent?
Yes.
Dvorak?
Motion carries. Next item, resolution 2019-97, approving final plat, including agreement to complete easements and warranty deed for Big Creek Valley Plat 1. Garrett, you,
Or maybe.
Combo?
Yeah. Because I'll go first then.
Jared Rufflin, Jared Developments, 1425 Northwest Hug Drive, City here. And yeah, for you is our final plat for Big Creek Valley. We started this, actually I think it was April 3rd. Started moving the first dirt. 6 months later, we're basically done. I think we have about $15,000 left in our punch list, most of which was completed last week. We expect to finish the rest of it this week. So we're looking good so far. So that's our plan. Happy to answer any questions or.
No real questions from me. I do want to thank, as Jared did on Thursday, the P&Z with their flexibility for meeting on last Thursday to get this through. And, as Jared mentioned, the timeline would give me a lot of, would raise some anxiety if it hadn't been done by MJR. I trust one of the better developers I think that we've had. I wish that was a higher bar to clear, but it is a compliment nonetheless. So thank you.
Is that a motion?
It is.
Second.
Roll call.
Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sarchet? Dvorak?
Motion carries. Resolution 2000, next item, Resolution 2019-95, approving final release of retainage for the 2018 Polk City Park improvements in the amount of $2,657 even.
Yeah, the city accepted the public improvements on September 10th, so it has, the 30-day window has gone by. So, yeah, we're recommending just releasing the retainage to concrete connection.
I've just noticed up at Lost Lakes Park, we had that concern about water pooling. They've done some things up there. But this last big rain we had, there was still water there, but it seemed to disappear a lot quicker than it had in the past. So you're happy with what they've done up there, and kept a close eye on it, as I know you have. And
oh yeah. And they have put a couple small intakes in up there to take the water away because it wasn't going away before, like you were mentioning. Right. It is still pretty flat area, so you're going to have some ponding while it's raining, but it will go away.
Yeah, so there was pretty substantial rain last time, and it was gone within a day. So.
Right. And there always could be more tiling done at another time.
Sure.
We just didn't put it in this project, but it's there now. We can just hook on and go if we need to.
That motion too.
Sure.
Second.
Roll call.
Dvorak?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Motion carries. Next item, Resolution 2019-96, approving payout number 11, which is the final retainage release for the Davis Street Reconstruction Project, the amount of $11,102.05. Anything extra to add on that?
No.
Figure.
Question.
Questions, comments, motion?
I have a question, and maybe this has been answered in the past. The Douglas property there that we've talked about all the time, and the seeding they did, was that part of their contract? Or was that something you guys did to reseed all that was graded?
That was the contractor.
They did it?
Yeah.
Are you guys happy with what?
When you say you're talking about the Davis.
Yeah, where the ball
All right.
field, temporary ball field
You went
was.
just a little bit further back.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be honest, we have not. It's been inspected, but I have not actually walked the property. But it looks to me that it's draining mostly. I'm sure there's going to be, because we flattened it out pretty flat up there too.
The drainage is going to be a big problem. My big concern is the seeding, and
Okay.
pretty much all weeds right now.
Okay.
And is that something we're going to have to take care of ourselves, or is that something that
Most of
we can get back on them? I hate to pay them off, and then we end up with a weed patch up there
right.
if they were responsible for it.
I think there is grass growing, but I think there's probably weeds too, and I think weed control over the years will probably take care of that.
Okay.
But we have went back on other projects too, and if the seed doesn't come back in, we'll reseed, intermix. So I think it's a small enough problem, if that's what we want to call it. I think we could probably take care of that if it doesn't come back in the spring.
I know we can, the
Okay.
way everything else in town looks, but I'm thinking if they didn't fulfill their obligation, that maybe.
Yeah, I know they've been up there a couple times filling in some holes up there that wasn't completely flat. So I know at this point in time, they've done a pretty good job up there at that point. But I haven't looked at it, like you say, in the last probably couple months.
Well, my feeling is with the cost of the project, pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think that we can just take care of it simply in the spring if it comes to that.
All right.
Thanks. I need a motion, please.
Motion to approve resolution 2019-96.
Second. Roll call.
Yes.
Dvorak?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, resolution 2098, approving pay app number 2 for East Graham Street, Deerhaven Street intersection repairs project, amount of $34,946.42.
Yeah, I mean, the street's paved and open. The forms are set for the sidewalks, sidewalk ramps at all four corners. They have not been able to get in there to get those paved yet, but obviously that work is not included in this pay application.
Drove it today. Quite a big difference.
Questions, comments, motion? So,
Second.
roll call.
Vogel? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sarchet? DeVore?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, resolution 2091, approving a subscriber agreement with Polk County for continued communication services. I know this has been discussed quite in depth by Chief Mitchell, Trace, back when I didn't think you were still there, Kindig, and Mr. Brownell when he was here last. Anything to add to it, or? I don't know.
Fine, as good as they get.
Yep.
It works good for Polk City.
So clarify that a little bit if you don't mind. As good as it's going to get, is a lot of work to be done, or are we making progress?
No, the solution's ready to be done for right now. The only, I wouldn't call it downside, but the only concern is metro-wide. It doesn't make as big a step toward full interoperability as everybody would like to see. And I don't mean to speak just, but that was the main concern with it. But it's great for us. Our main backup is all on Polk County Dispatch, which is the radios and infrastructure being provided. It's just serving the metro overall, so we can all talk to each other on a lot of different channels in a major incident. This doesn't take the steps that a lot of the chiefs want to see going forward with that. But that's why I say it's as good as we'll get for where we're at right now.
We've also been assured that's a work in progress.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's over.
And
Might take a little longer than what we'd like, but it's we'll get there sometime.
I got to talk to Jim about this on the E911 commission meeting, board meeting last week, and there's actually some interoperability solutions that they're coming up with that may address other, like I said, those concerns that a lot of the other chiefs had. It'd be more poignant, like Windsor Heights, for example, where they're on county, Des Moines Dispatch is on one side of them and Westcom's on the other, and there's no county dispatch agencies around them. Interoperability is a lot bigger deal to them, because everybody would come help us. Or the vast majority of large instances we would be on, Jim or myself, we're all going to be on Polk County Dispatch.
Yeah, and I was going to bring that up because it was discussed at the MAC meeting last week, and whether that means that they're helping or they're adding cooks to the kitchen, I don't know. I'm nervous about the latter, but Supervisor McCoy was there and expressed some concern that you had shared with us both and shared this summer. So again,
the sheriff's department's doing the best thing they can for the people they serve. I mean, there's nothing wrong being done. It's just for so long there's been 3 separate PSAPs or dispatch centers on different systems, and there's been steps taken to make more interoperability available. And we kind of thought this agreement maybe that wasn't going to be the case, but then all 3 PSAPs spoke at this 911 meeting last week, and they're looking at some outside vendors and some upgrading options that allow that interoperability during a large scale event between different PSAPs, which was encouraged as well. Just very expensive, a lot of different infrastructure there trying to get in to marry up and work well, but we're in a good place as Polk City here. And I'll let you speak as well.
No, past experience, we're getting a good deal for the amount of money that they're charging. I paid a lot more for dispatch services and maybe received less of the service. So this is not a bad deal. It's a good deal for us. We get new radios out of it. They've assured us that we'll have input, and I'm satisfied with it. It's way less expensive than moving to other dispatch centers, and that would require building towers, and that, a new tower is what, $500,000. This is a good.
There really wasn't much of an option when it came right down to
really
doing that. Right.
And I'd say we've probably spent between us 80, 100 hours researching, talking about, putting together stuff on this to make sure that, Polk City's bases are covered. I'm comfortable with it. And also the Board of Supervisors and Sheriff's Department is extending us a large courtesy in them free radios. And I mean, I'd like to say thank you to them with it as well, and a very reasonably priced service going forward.
thank you both.
Step and continue continued progress, right? I mean, compared to what it was. Need a motion, please.
Motion to approve resolution 2019-91.
Second.
You're gonna get one yet. Roll call, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Point, Jim.
DeVore,
I was following.
Vogel, Walters.
Yes. Are you ready? Okay. Next one. Motion carries. Final reading of ordinance 2019-1400, amending chapter 65 stopper yield required and amending chapter 69 parks and regulations.
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Walters,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet, DeVore, Vogel.
Motion carries. Next item, approve budgeted well communication line project with MyFiber in the amount of $16,199.33. Mike.
Yes. So, this is the communication lines that go from our treatment plant out to the well fields, and we have 3 of them that go to 3 of our existing wells. And we've been using CenturyLink, and we've been paying, you can see in my memo, but we've been paying $74 a line going to 2 of those. The other one is a direct cable already, I guess. Yes, I know. So anyway, those lines, one of those lines has been giving us a lot of problems over the last few years here. And I'm not going to go over the long story, but we get told by both parties that it's the other person's fault. And we started looking at, we needed something more reliable than that, to be honest with you. So we started looking at other options, and we fell on this option here of just boring in our own fiber to those wells. It'll give us more flexibility down the road even. It just so happened that we went out and received 3 quotes from 3 different contractors, and then MyFiber was in here talking about, with Jenny and me, about going down past our water treatment plant out to Wolf Creek, and we got talking to them a little bit about it, and there were some cost savings. They wanted to quote boring that line in for us. Now we're not going to, get their service, but they will actually put the line in for us. And there were some savings there. So anyway, I think you'll see that in their quote that they did give us. It was $16,199.33, which was quite a bit cheaper than the next person up, and almost triple cheaper, at least double cheaper than the highest. So anyway, this was a budgeted project. We know we wanted to do it. The total cost is $25,000 budget, and we're very comfortable that the savings that we're going to receive and the budget amount will not go over with what else we have to do in the treatment plant. So in a nutshell, that's what it is, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Sounds great. Does it allow Wolf Creek a new option? Or it does? Okay. Can we maybe try and make sure that they're aware of that?
MyFiber's taking care of that.
Do they? Okay, good. Nice work.
And it's actually, we should think, I didn't mean to interrupt, we should probably thank Jared. It's actually Jared who went out to MyFiber to solicit them to get up to his development. So.
That's why he's shaking his head. I noticed that. I'm like, man, you're really into this well.
I think it was a little bit of luck, so it took here, but all pieces fell in place. And
Well, what you may call luck, I call proactive, forward-thinking, community-centric approach to things. So, to both of you guys, I appreciate it.
Take a motion.
I couldn't move. I won.
Second.
Roll call.
Vogel. Yes. Walters.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Sarchet. DeVore.
Motion carries. Next item, Snyder and Associates invoices for August 2019 in the amount of $33,606.10. Motion, please.
Okay.
Roll call.
Vogel. Yes. Walters.
Abstain.
Anderson.
Yes.
Sarchet. DeVore.
Motion carries. Next item, reports in particular. Since I missed you last time, I'll call on you first.
I have nothing.
Sorry. I should have checked first. No. All right. Okay. Staff. Anybody? You want me to do it first?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know you didn't want. Okay. So Mike got a hold of me a couple weeks ago or whatever. So as most of you know, North Polk had their parade here in town. Appreciate Public Works and everything that they did again to do all that. And when we do those parades and we do those runs and we do those events, the city typically takes care of the bill for barricades and those sorts of things. Mike used a company that we've used for a long time, Iowa Plain Signing out of Slater. Jeff Kudelka is who runs that company, and or he's vice president, I guess is what his official title is up there. Anyway, Jeff's kids go to North Polk and they're involved in the school. And anyway, so Mike calls and he says, "Hey, just wanted you to know that we got a bill from them," and which we knew, but they donated. It was a $1,900 saving, which I immediately contacted Bridget, and I know that she's been taking care of making some connections with North Polk. We're sending a thank you card that I know you're taking care of right now. So just shout out to Iowa Plain Signing, and particularly Jeff. He didn't ask for it. He didn't say he was going to do it. You just got the bill in the mail and it was a zero balance. So little things like that go a long ways. So like I said to Mike, if there's another company that wants to do signing, Polk City, they got a $1,900. They're already $1,900 in the hole. So anyway, good. Yeah, that was just good. And nobody asked for it. And he didn't even contact you on it, right? You just got the bill. So
If you knew Jeff, you would understand.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%.
And I do.
Yeah,
I
no,
do
with
too.
you 100%.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Just thought that was great. And you use them for a lot of your other stuff, right? And
We use them pretty close. It took me a while to figure out what zero balance meant. I'm not used to that.
So tough, right?
Right.
anyway, staff, anybody else have anything else? Trace?
I just wanted to, this will be in the report next month, but I wanted to recognize our officers. A big issue with the Metro right now is people stealing catalytic converters off people's cars. And they just take a Sawzall and climb with the car and cut it off in parking lots or driveways, and they sell them for scrap, or they can sell them black market to shops. They'll put them on other vehicles. So it's been a pretty big issue in the Metro. We haven't had any problems here. And in the last 10 days, our officers have interdicted 2 sets of those burglars, got their vehicles impounded, and other agencies executing search warrants on the vehicles because we haven't had any of them happen here. And I truly believe that due to their proactive policing, they caught these people before they were able to perpetrate those crimes in town. There's more than one officer involved in each one. So if you see the guys, congratulate them. Well, that's huge that we're catching them that quick. And other cities are having a lot of problems with that. So just wanted to say thanks to the officers and let you guys be aware of their good work on that stuff.
Thank you.
Fire Prevention Week. Last week, we went to West Elementary and spoke with every young person from pre-K to 4th grade. Citywide fire drill was a success last Tuesday night. We've seen a lot of kids. We might have missed a couple, but we reached out and talked to a lot of different children. And then the pancake breakfast was a huge success. Thanks to everybody that came to that and supported us. And my staff for helping with that. So.
Just turn down here and work my way around.
So I think it was last week or the week before I went to the meeting that I can't remember the name of it, but Vintage Estates proposed plan off of TCI right next to the hotel. Interesting discussion. A little bit of pushback from the neighbors, which is pretty thematic with that neighborhood. So from our perspective, nothing to do. Cooperative would be somewhat new to town, but their model is, they need to reach 50% commitment before they move ahead. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. It was a good discussion, I thought, on possible addition of Boulder Point. So we'll see where that goes. And then also in the MAC meeting, WRA was there, and I think it was pretty timely, and I think it was mostly the information that we had already got from PFM previously, but they do an annual study on how and what gets billed from a sewer perspective and their projects and all that stuff. So I did get one copy. It wasn't super relevant for anything. Yeah, but I'll forward that out. But a good a good partner I think we have, and some other communities weighing a decision that we went through, you guys went through a number of years ago that's paying dividends now, that Grimes in particular of joining up and some of the concerns that we don't have to deal with. So appreciate the foresight there. And then thank you, Lindsay, for sending out the Parks and Rec survey. If you haven't taken that, please do so. All feedback is helpful to any decisions that may come up. So just I think the link's still on the city site.
The website and our Facebook page.
Thank you. Do we have? It's not my turn.
We're up
sorry.
to about 530 responses.
I'd just like to thank our friends from the Scouts for coming. It's good to see you here. Thank you for coming.
Anything? You love Scouts?
No.
You just skip it all.
No, it's coming to you and then working.
I just wanted to, the Deerhaven and Grimes, as Rob mentioned, it's great. Now, I mean, we didn't realize really how wrong it was until it was right. You know, I mean, you really cannot tell, but there's sufficient drainage there, obviously. And I just wanted to say that we've set the precedent with if things aren't correct, we're going to correct them, and we have. And I like the fact that we made the improvement we should have, and I just left it alone. So I appreciate everybody's support on that. It's a good one. That's it.
Went to the fire breakfast on Saturday. That was a good event, and thank you for the materials you sent home with my kids. I was out of town on Tuesday night, so I could not participate, but did have the opportunity to talk with them about things, and I think it is a good reminder. And, you know, again, when they have stuff that comes on their papers, so great job, good up, and yeah, great staff you have, so thank you.
Yeah, well, echo the same. When my kids came home Tuesday night, was, Dad, when we have a fire, where are we going to meet at? Well, no, it was very good, and you know, both 5 and 8-year-olds were excited, and then they were excited again on Saturday to come check things out at the fire department. So it's nice to have those opportunities.
So I had along the lines of the Scouts being in the room, I got invited back again. So it's nice getting invited again to come visit your troop. So I got invited. I got to go speak to the troop here a couple Sundays ago. It was told to be about a half hour. I was there for over an hour. So that was a good time to come up and visit with them. I got a nice thank you note dropped off here tonight. And I know you guys are working on a couple merit badges. But I got a nice email back from one of the Scout Masters, and this comment I just thought was interesting in sharing. They wanted to thank me for joining us again last night, and this comment particularly in itself, I've gotten a good kick out of it a couple of times. It says, I know the boys enjoyed hearing from you, as I could tell this because it was the quietest they have been for a while for anything. So,
We know you didn't put them to sleep.
but anyway, then he went on to thank anyway, they said, I hope you and council know there are many who really do appreciate the hours and work you all put in to help keep the community agreement for our residents. So appreciate it. So, anyway, that was good. I appreciate it coming up and tell your troop thank you. I appreciate the thank you guys for coming. And then along the lines of Chief, he was up. We went up to Chamber Luncheon last Wednesday and introduced Chelsea at the Chamber Luncheon. And then Chief gave a nice presentation, and I made sure to close my kids' doors that night. So good job. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, nice job on your presentation up there. That was well received. There was a lot of people up there, and good job. That's all I have. I need a motion to go to closed session under Code of Iowa, Chapter 21. First meeting, go for public closed session. Roll call, please.
Dvorak?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes. Walters?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries. Take a quick 5. And we'll go from there. Okay. Okay. I'll call him. Was he expecting our call?
I just texted him and said about 5 minutes. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Just one thing real quick. Yeah, no, go ahead.
out at some point.